Guys, before we get going, you know what we got to do? We got to give a huge shout out to our Patreon subscribers. So thank you to Tony, Starla, Luke, Jacob, Jeff, Adam, Chuck, Justin, Brian, Dusty, Alpha 80 Swag, Roland Rogans, and Kay. Our two newest members there so far, the Roland Rogans and Kay. Thank you, everybody, for your support. Thank you to our Patreons for your continued support. We appreciate the hell out of you guys. But guys, we got episode 194 underway here. Just going to start it off with this past work week, and then we're going to jump right into our interview with, some of you guys know him as Hilly on the Go. You may have seen his name floating around on social media, but it is our interview with John Hillygus, past guest as well. I believe it was like 32. We mentioned it in the interview. I can't remember which episode it was.
It was early.
How
It
long
was in the
it's been.
30s. It was in the 30s.
Yeah.
I know that.
Yeah, how long it's been since we've had him on here. But incredible interview with John. So stay tuned for that one, guys. Episode 194. Here we go.
We got to this one address. I said, this one goes around back. He went around back, drove off, left them right at the stop.
That was after getting hit by a car. That
Wait,
was
you
another.
got hit by a car?
I ended up drinking 24 Bud Lights in about 48 minutes. Drunken nomad stumbles out in the road and he hit me going 30 miles an hour.
What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on this very special cricket episode of All in the Delivery. This is episode 194. If you hear the crickets in the background, it's on my end because I'm currently recording outside on my back deck. It is nighttime. I just got home from the city. I was down in the city with the boys. We'll get into that. And my folks are in town, so they're currently in this studio space that I have where we usually record. So I've been forced to come out back outside. But we'll talk about that here in a second. Let's start off with introducing, your co-host down in West Virginia.
Fuck.
Luke, how are you, buddy?
I could just say that the crickets are just, it was like, so basically to just say, we were wanting to put an introduction to this episode and to just summarize it real quick because of scheduling and stuff, we were going to just do what we've, for any of the Patreons, and I think we've said it on episodes where we'll have phone call recordings from the road. And we've done a couple of those. I think we've done two, for podcast episodes. And the thing with it is that it's always, it's random. Like we're on, like that time I was sitting there tucked away on my break time, didn't think anybody would bother me, and that dude came up and started asking if I was lost or all that shit. I said to Dave, it's like our version of Kill Tony because it's completely live and you have no idea what the fuck's going to happen. So just think of the crickets the crickets are just that's the way it would have been if we'd have been on the road. But I had said to Dave that you can't really hear them that bad. I said people would appreciate them because it's not drowning you out. So you're good.
That's good. I hope you guys don't hear the wind either. It's a little windy out here as well.
I don't hear the wind.
Okay.
I'll just say I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when you speak, you're good. Like you don't hear the crickets until, I don't even hear them as I'm talking. So until they're not
right.
bad, dude. I promise.
Good.
I promise.
You might hear a train though. The train tracks are like a quarter mile down the road.
That'll stick out. But I want to start.
Might hear the train tracks. But
I do want to start off by saying, even though this is really going to be your story to tell, I just want to say as a side note, I'm mad at myself for not taking the Rangers. I should have bet on that game because, dude, I swear, Dave's kids, we're gonna leak. We're gonna have a lock. You know how there's handicappers that sell picks. We're gonna just fucking. When you go to the Mets, when you take Xander and Grant to the Mets game, we're gonna sell the date. We're gonna hammer the Mets, but we're gonna sell the date. If you want to know what date the game you're going
what date?
Just give us $20.
Yeah.
No, but
For sure.
I swear I was sitting there thinking, I was like, but we've spoke on the phone about how bad their home record has been this season. So, anniversary coming up, stuff like that but damn, what a game. What a game for you guys to go to. But
Yeah.
I mean, as far as my work week goes, it was pretty mundane. I'll just say, yeah, I ended up taking a layoff day, didn't work a full week. I had a funny story to tell, and I'll go ahead and say, I'll say this, and then I'll bring my 40-year-old virgin reference up later, because I'm kind of excited to hear your story on this. But I wanted to say this because I was going to make a video about this, and I just haven't had the chance to. Anybody who follows me on the socials, my break times, I've been home a lot, and I just haven't been making videos, and I'm sorry, but I'm sharing it on here because it's, I'm a dog lover. Come here and let me see you. I mean, it's pretty documented. I love dogs. And I was telling Dave about this, so he's aware of this. I don't think I've ever spoke of this dog on the podcast because I don't think I speak too many negative fucking stories of dogs too often, of just asshole fucking animals.
They're usually positive for you.
Dickhead fucking animals. And not even so much to me. So I'm not going to give the name of this dog away just by some chance to the owners, because I do like the owners, and their other two dogs are really friendly. But I will give the breeds. So I would go to this house, and they would have 3 dogs outside. They were 2 healers and a beagle or basset hound kind of looking dog, something like that. The one healer was blue, and that was the asshole, and the other one was a white and tan one, and just a fucking sweetheart of a dog. And when I would give treats to these dogs, especially that other healer, the fucking sweetheart one, that fucking blue healer would chomp his shit up so fast. He would maul. I'm talking attack that fucking dog. And he would attack the other dog too, but that fucking other healer was just like easy bait. And dude, I felt terrible, and I quit giving bones. I hated this dog because I was like, this dog's such a fucking prick. This poor dog lives in fear, just cowering, fucking around. Like, I used to bring like 6 treats to one just so that dog could eat one treat in fucking peace. Because if there was a crumb, dude, this dog was mauling it. So anyway, fast forward Christmas time, everything's over. I haven't seen the owners in a while. So guy stops me. Got a delivery for him. He's like, hey, just wanted to tell you, I got some bad news. I said, oh, what? He said, we lost one of the dogs. I said, oh, no. I'm all saying, like, I'm so sorry you lost. And then he ends up telling me the name, and it's the name of the fucking asshole dog that I hate. And I told Dave, my poker face, I think my face lit up like a Christmas tree, because my voice, I was like, well, I mean, yeah, I'm sorry you lost him. But I mean, I was like, like lit up. Like in my mind, I'm like, thank God it's that one. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, I can't wait to see these other 2 dogs be like, you guys won in life, man. You're finally fucking free. But yeah, that story went from me being really sad to being like, oh, this is wonderful. But I got to have someone. I had the shittiest poker face with the owner. And so, yeah, that was my funny dog story of the week. But that's about it for me, man. Yeah, we had an Easter egg hunt, did some Easter early stuff today with the family, going to my in-laws tomorrow. But go ahead, brother. Let's hear the streak continuing.
No, I mean, so, my week was absolutely fine. I ended up taking the overday because, that's all they offer nowadays. But I ended up taking the overday on Wednesday because my folks came into town, and my folks are here till the Tuesday. So as this is getting released, my folks are leaving. So so I took the overday Wednesday, hung out here. My folks got in town around like noon, and so, like I was saying, they took over the basement, the studio area that I have, where we usually record. So that's why I'm currently outside. But Today was absolutely just incredible, really. I mean, for those of you that know, I'm a huge Rangers fan, and the Rangers absolutely just suck this this year, and they're at the bottom of the league. They've already been eliminated from the playoffs, like absolutely just terrible, and so because of that, because of being terrible and sucking, ticket prices are low. And so I'm just like, I've had my 7-year-old like, Dad, like, when are we gonna go to a Rangers game? Like, I want to go to Madison Square Garden, and there's not a better time to do it than now, honestly. And because ticket prices are so low, it's like, you know what? Let's plan this. Got my dad and got my folks in town. I got my dad in town. Let's do this. And so my wife and my mom ended up staying back. They ended up staying back at the house. So it was me, my dad, and my 2 boys, my 7-year-old and my 5-year-old. And we all took the train down to the city earlier this morning and went to the 12:30 Rangers versus Red Wings game down at Madison Square Garden. So it was their first time. Let me tell you something. I've never been to Madison Square Garden with a stroller before, but having a stroller at Madison Square Garden is fucking clutch. It's clutch. You know why? Because you don't got to take the escalators. You take that fucking elevator right up with all the elderly people and their walkers. You know what I mean? You got, dude, it was incredible. Like, we got to take the elevators up and like all of that. So it was so clutch. And it was great. The guy, like the elevator guy, like there's someone sitting on a stool in the elevator that just goes up and down all day long. You know what I mean? And
What a job.
so this guy too, he was such an awesome dude. So like the elderly couple got off first, and they were on like the suite level. Of course, they had some Lexus suites there, and so they got off first on the suite level. We were going a little bit up, a little bit further, and the guy working the elevator was like, "How y'all doing tonight?" And we're like, "Oh, good, good." Hey, he's looking at us and he goes, "Let me guess." He goes, "3 generations." And my dad absolutely just loved it. He was beaming. You know what I mean?
Sure.
He was like,
well,
I'm
I
here
mean,
with
you
my,
two, you two
was
are
like,
stamps. So
oh
yeah,
yeah,
that was
of
hard.
course.
That Xander, Grant,
and like, right, and like that was one of my dad's like biggest things was like he even mentioned that before we even left was just like being able to have be there with 3 generations, and he even said that being there to see the hockey game with 3 generations of his name. And
man.
so when this guy said that, my dad started like beaming. He was like, yeah, it's my son. That's my son's kids. That's my 2 grandboys, and it's their first game here. And and of course the guy was like, oh, and the guy, everybody was so nice that worked there at MSG. Yo, shout out to Madison Square Garden staff. I mean, like everybody there was just so great, so pleasant. And even the guy in the elevator was like, well, listen, if you go to section 321 to guest services, they'll give your boys, this is my first Rangers game certificate, and they'll have their name on it and everything. So, between periods, we went over there to the guest services. My kids got like their certificates. I say like, my first time at a Rangers game at Madison Square Garden, this date against this team. It's got their names on it. And so, like, those guys were great too. Even just just the other staff who was just walking around and everything, just very pleasant greeting. Hello, how are you guys? Do you guys need help with anything? Where are you guys sitting? Do you know? Like, it was great. It was great. So it was awesome. Everybody had a great time. Obviously, the boys were just in awe of the place, obviously, because it's this huge arena. And, for a little kid, that's gigantic as a 7 and a 5-year-old, And we got the bridge level seats. So, like, we were literally just sitting, like, you're sitting down and you're staring, like, down because we're up high on the bridge, and it just overlooks the playing surface, which was absolutely just great. And it was absolutely fucking amazing. I wish I could pull it up. I should have shared the picture on my fucking laptop so that everybody could have saw it, but I don't know if you'd be able to see it. But like, you can see the rinks just literally basically right below us.
I can see it.
So it was It was absolutely incredible. Such a good time. Hey, the Rangers won. We got to sing the goal song 4 times. They scored 4 goals. There was a hat trick. The Rangers, young rookie Gabe Perreault scored a hat trick. We got to see the hat trick. There was a fucking fight. The boys got to see a fight. I mean, it was what you couldn't have asked for a better first game experience for, my kids, and just overall great day. So with that being said, now we're going to take the train home. And I got a story about the train home. So we ended up taking the Metro North Railroad to New York City this morning. And that takes us from Poughkeepsie, New York, down to Grand Central Station. Now, Grand Central, it's about a 25 minute walk from Grand Central to Madison Square Garden through Manhattan. And and right at Madison Square Garden, right underneath Madison Square Garden, is Penn Station. Now, there are trains that go from Penn Station to Poughkeepsie, where our car is. Now, we didn't take it down because it would have been too much money, because that's the Amtrak. The Amtrak is way more expensive than the Metro North Railroad. And after the game, we're just like, do we really want to walk all the way back to Grand Central Station? Or do we want to pay a little extra money and take the Amtrak home? You know? Because it's straight down, underground, under Madison Square Garden, hop on a train, go back. We said, fuck it. Let's take the Amtrak. And Xander, by this time now the kids were exhausted. They were so overstimulated. And my Xander's like, I don't know if I can walk anymore. My right leg's killing me. I'm like, dude, you're 7. Like your right leg should not be killing you. Like, my back hurts, but so we ended up taking the Amtrak. The Amtrak, like I said, a little bit more money. So, and by a little bit more, I mean like double the price of what, like, it's like $48 a ticket for like one way.
You're expecting
compared to like 20.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm expecting a good decent ride back. So we get on the train and we're sitting there and everybody's coming down. Everyone's coming on the train and finding their seats, right? All of a sudden, dude, there's this group of 4 gets on the train. 3 dudes, 1 female. And they all had their Ranger jerseys on. They all just got out of the game too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Buddy, this woman couldn't probably fucking tell a shape of a square, triangle, circle. She probably didn't even know what 2 + 2 was. She was annihilated, bro. And those drinks are not cheap at Madison Square Garden. I don't know if they pre-gamed and then gamed and then post-gamed, but like, dude, she was fucking wrecked, bro. And they walk by us. This woman's like, dude, stumbling. Her boyfriend's like grabbing onto like her neck like a child and like trying to like keep her upright. And she's like bouncing off the fucking seats as she's trying to walk down the train aisle. Dude. So my kids, as kids do, we get 5 minutes, the train starts moving, and as kids do, they're like, I gotta go pee, and I'm like, fuck, of course, let's go check out the bathroom here. Let's go check out the bathroom on the train. Why not? Well, guess who's sitting up by the fucking by the bathrooms? This group of 4, right? And so we gotta walk past the group of 4 to get to the bathroom, right? I can see this woman, she's just like fucking passed out already. She's passed out, like, on the train ride home. All right. So that was my oldest that had to go. We go back, sit back down. About a half hour later, my youngest is like, I got to pee. I'm like, of course you do. Let's go. So I get up. I walk with them. I see the woman now trying to get up. And her boyfriend, husband, whoever it was, partner, is trying to like help her along and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, like she doesn't look so good. So I take Grant into the bathroom, shut the door, lock it. Right across is another bathroom. So there's 2 bathrooms right across from each other. Grant's there peeing. All of a sudden, I hear in the bathroom, and just like, I'm like, holy shit. And like, dude, like I have bad hearing and I still heard this. You know what I mean? And like, all I hear like that. And I'm like, oh my fuck. I could not imagine being on the floor of those fucking bathrooms, bro. It smelled. It was just fucking disgusting.
Fuck.
It was so bad. Just there's pee line, because the train's fucking moving, and you're trying to take a piss. It's like a fire hose sometimes, so you don't got your shit together. Like, you're fucking spraying everywhere. Dude, this woman's probably on the floor. She's probably on the floor, probably fucking hair all, I can't, dude. And she's vomiting. And I get Grant. I'm like, Grant, come on, buddy. Let's go sit back down quick. Like, no, I was like, Grant, don't look. Like, her boyfriend's standing in the doorway, like as she's on the floor. And I'm like, Grant, don't look. Go. Like, keep going, bud. It was terrible, bro.
Well,
terrible.
He's what?
But
he's grades 5.
The game itself, that was just one little minus. You know what I mean? That was right. That was just one little minus there of the day.
I remember my first one.
Oh yeah, but like the other 3 dudes were fine. Like, they were holding their shit together. You know what I mean? This woman was
probably fucking had to.
I saw her get on. I was like, woof. And then I saw her fucking up truck and everything. And then like we're like watching like down the aisle, and like I'm like watching her boyfriend sit down, get back up, check on her, sit down, get back up and check on her. She's just probably on the floor, passed out.
Dave's out there
Amtrak train.
Trying to oh yeah, dude, I can imagine moving, because sporting events anyway,
dude, the
bathrooms are just fucking terrible anyway. So on a train that's moving from a thing like that, just
and like I was saying to my dad, and I was like, that cannot feel good, like after drinking like that, and you're sitting on a train, and this train's like sometimes it gets a little shaky. Like, your world's already fucking spinning. Like, her world's already spinning because of how drunk she was. And now she's on a train that's actually pushing her back and forth. Dude, I'd be done. I'd be throwing up too.
Well, that's actually that's funny I can actually interject into my 40-year-old virgin reference from that, because, I obviously, and I'll just say this real quick, of being that drunk, I've been there so many times. I wasn't so much of a puker. I was more of a pants pisser, but that was when I'd be passed out. But I just wanted to say this but you guys, I mean, I will say this as far as your trip goes, that I know you wanted to experience, to be there with your dad and your sons and your kid, dude. Your kids just what's Xander now, like 4-0? Like, dude, at this point,
talk about
at this point, I don't know. We've talked about it every game, and they just keep winning, and we just don't do it. I'm like,
right. 3 Mets games last year. We're 3-0 at Mets games. Now we're 1-0 at Rangers games. So
when the Rangers had like the worst home record they've probably had since you and I have known each other, and I've actually kind of started following the Rangers some, and their home record was absolute dog shit. And they were, I told you, dude, I was like, dude, I just have this feeling, and that kid's luck, man, it sprinkles across all sports.
It's crazy.
Grant's just riding. Grant's what's he then? Is he like 2-0? Grant's he's undefeated too.
Yeah.
Or 3.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. No. Did he go to the other
He
one?
might be 3-0. I think he's been. I feel like he's been to 2 of those games.
I think he went to 2 of the Mets games.
Yeah, because you took Xander.
If I believe,
by himself, I think, if I remember the story or the timeline.
Or no, you know what? He may have stayed with his yaya. He may have stayed with his yaya for Xander's birthday party.
He did.
For Xander's birthday one.
You're
when he
right.
Took a friend
I
with
remember
him.
you saying that. So yeah, so he's 2-0 then.
So he's 2-0, but still unreal. Unreal, yeah.
But
yep.
To have
what a time.
I know, right? Like I said, dude, we just keep talking about it. The next one, we got to pull the trigger, dude. It's like just fucking. It's like we're just trying not to make money off of this at this point. Now it's 4-0.
We're trying not to, but I feel like we need to.
I know, dude. Every fucking, when we said it, after he did the first one, every fucking game, dude, every
So
time we
wild.
win, it's been brought up with that kid's luck, and it just keeps winning.
I know, dude. It's so wild.
To have it, I'll say with the 40-year-old virgin thing, because of the drunken Rangers fan about being fucked up. So I was falling asleep the other night, and on Netflix, when stuff's leaving, it'll have it's leaving soon. Or this could have been on HBO Max. I don't know. You know how it is, streaming services. You got fucking one, you got many. So
Yeah.
40-year-old virgin was on there, and I decided to watch that fucking just because I hadn't seen it in forever. And when 40, it said it came out in 2005. So I turned 21 in December of that year. So I was probably like 20 whenever it came out. And so I was a young man. And dude, there is a scene in the beginning of the movie with Seth Rogen and Steve Carell when they're talking about their weekends, and Seth Rogen's talking about all the shit they did, and getting fucked up and going to this, doing all this stuff.
Yep.
And Steve Carell talks about wanting to make, I think it was egg salad or tuna salad or fucking something, and he was like, so I went and got some mayonnaise and boiled some eggs, and he's just talking about making tuna salad and fucking saying it. Seth Rogen obviously sitting there like, yeah, that's cool, man. That's awesome that he gives like the thing behind his back. And I was laughing so hard because I was like, dude, it's like, God, I'll totally turn into Steve Carell. Because I was like, when this movie came out, I would have laughed so hard at this. And now I'm like, dude, that's about almost what a weekend can consist of. I was like, I didn't make egg salad today, but I did hunt a lot of Easter eggs and had a lot of fun doing it. But I was just thinking, I was like, dude, of the getting fucked up part. I was like, God, if I was as fucked drunk as that woman was, I would be hungover for a week. I'd be done. I couldn't, dude. It's been so long. But yeah, that was a 40-year-old virgin thing I had to do. That literally was last night. I realized it because it was Friday night when I was nodding off. So I wanted to throw that in there. Little getting old reference. A movie when it's 21 years old and you see it. It hit like a ton of bricks.
Right.
It was fucking nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, dude. It was good. Everything. Yeah, man. It's good. So. But anyways, I think. Are you good? You got any?
I'm
got
good.
Else
No,
here, buddy?
man. I think to say, just to have people get ready. John's episode it's a good one. It's an emotional one. So just be, it's a good episode. I'm really glad. I'm so glad that he, that of how it went and what he wanted to get into. And, it was, but I'm so glad that we were able to have him, aside from recording this episode and stuff, just getting to meet him and being able to be there.
Yeah.
And, just another special moment of somebody of the connection that we've met from this podcast, and
so long
hope
ago
to see him again. Yeah, oh God, yeah, fucking literally 2021. It's 5 years. It's been 5 fucking years.
I know, and
It was
now
March
he's
of
retired
2021.
and living his life, But here I'll show you that there, because we are currently on YouTube. So John Hillygus is watching. So
John Hillygus, God bless you, brother. I didn't even realize we were live. I should have noticed that. I see the
me
chat
neither
bubble.
until I started the chat. Until I started seeing the chat, I was like, oh shit, we're live. Look at that. I completely forgot. We're all out of sorts. Like I said, I'm outside. This is the first time we set shit back up since we met up.
Dude,
so I'm still trying to get everything together.
I'm about to go to bed probably when this is over. I'm fucking, dude, I had a rough, one thing I didn't say about the week, the very end of it, I had a very, very lack sleep schedule, but that happens sometimes.
I'm glad we were able to do this tonight and not last night. So this is a little better.
For sure, man. I was done last night too.
Yeah.
Trust me.
And
no worries,
I wouldn't
brother.
have had that story to tell about the woman and just the day that it had. So, But anyways, guys, we're going to get into John Hillygus's interview when we were all together for the meetup. So everybody on YouTube, we're signing off. Thanks for coming on and hanging out for a little bit, guys. Here is our interview with John Hillygus. Later, everybody.
Later, everybody.
So our guest today has flown in all the way from Florida, if you will. Last time we actually had him on, he is episode number 32. That's going back so far back. And when he told me that earlier, I almost shit myself because I couldn't believe it's been that long. So guys, please welcome back to the show, John Hillygus. John, how are you, buddy?
Doing good. I'm doing good. It's been a long 5 years.
It's a little too long.
It has been a long 5 years, and I feel like I'm going, because we're all together, I'm just going to keep looking, because I keep seeing the camera, and right before we got on, my man dropped a distraction right before we went on, and I hope whenever this gets released, which it won't be too far down the road, I can still say I don't have a Linux camera, so I don't know the feeling yet, but that was a very good one-liner. It's great to be here in person, obviously.
Definitely great to be here in person.
And it's almost been 168 episodes later, but we're doing it, and we're glad to have you back on, brother.
Yes.
I appreciate the invite, and I'm glad you guys are still going strong.
Hell yeah. Thank you. And thank you for joining us. Like Luke said, thanks for flying in. But dude, I mean, so much, obviously, 5-6 years ago now. So much has happened since then. We are going through 2 buyouts here at the company. Last time we spoke, you were still with the company, but you are retired now.
Retired, yes, I am, and living the good life. Definitely. So doors open, and you walk through them.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. And you took the first buyout.
I took the first buyout. Yeah, life comes at you hard, and sometimes things happen that you just don't see coming, and sometimes you just have to do what's best for you, and that's what I did. I mean, it's like we all say about the buyout, you have to do what's best for you
Mhm.
and your family. Everybody's situation is different, and for me, everything lined up, and I felt like it was time for me to go after my 34 years.
Mm-hmm. 34 years. Man.
And I don't think there could be, and that we were talking about that earlier, that there would be nobody, I feel like I don't want to say it's even a controversial topic. It's just been talked about so much because it's still, I mean, we're only in the second one and it's still so new, but it became so polarized that I still think, like I was telling you earlier, that when you've put in 34 years and I was happy. I don't know if you would have, let me ask you this from taking the first one. I mean, because you were close to retirement anyway, does any part of you wish you would have held out for one more year to get this one?
I had 18 months to go until I turned 55. I'll be honest with you, I have absolutely no regrets. No regrets at all from getting
Hell
out
yeah.
when I did,
Good.
because I mean, it could be 500,000. Well, no, I'm just kidding. No, from what I've done since the end of August of last year, all the traveling I've done, I've been to probably 20 different countries.
Wow.
I've been all over the place, and like I said, if you know my story, um, it's been well worth it, and like I said, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Mm.
Well, that's more for that with travel. There's some things too, and I'll say that just with the second, that just, it shows, there's monetary value to things, and then there's stuff you can't really put. So you saying that and being able to do travel, and I obviously do know your story, and I think that it is, with the timing of it, I think for what you've been able, just from what we've been able to see, for you to be able to come up here with us and just everything else we've been able to see you do from afar, whether it's been on TikTok or taking cruises, being able to do. I'm glad to hear you say that. I was kind of assuming that, but I just wanted to ask because it was a question because we've never had, we've not had. I mean, this is still pretty new, so you're the first driver we've had on that's taken the buyout. So I don't know when. I'm sure we'll have another one on one of these days, but yeah, so I was curious on that, but I'm glad to hear that though. I'm glad to hear that it was yeah, and it's just like, dude, it's just one less year. Just with UPS alone, it's just one less year of bullshit. And that alone being when you've had as many years as you had in, it's like, dude, it's just be good to be done. So I'm glad to hear that.
Well, and two, I've had a couple of phrases come at me that I really take to heart. One of them was the once you realize you have more days behind you than in front of you, that's the day you start looking at life differently.
Hmm.
And after losing my wife in January of 25, I started looking at life differently. And so my story, if you don't know, um we had a lot of places that we wanted to go, things we wanted to do. We had a big list. And so to honor her, I'm trying to fulfill that list and take her with me every step of the way. And she's here with me now. I've got her. But yeah, it's part of what keeps me going every day. And um another phrase was you can't give your life more time, but you
Mm.
can give your time more life. And that kind of goes right into what I'm doing as well. So, you know, we're not promised tomorrow. None of us are. And, I obviously know that personally. And anybody who's lost somebody close to them knows it as well. And, you just live life because, you might not be here a week from today. So
Mm.
not trying to go down a rabbit hole.
Oh, well said though, man. Well
I
said.
I also think or tell me if you think I'm wrong, but I feel like that buyout probably couldn't have came at a better time for you.
No, you nailed it. I, uh, I was struggling mentally. I had been off because I was having some health issues, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't actually start the year until April working because I'd been out, and uh, it wasn't. I knew I wasn't going to get in all my reports, and as soon as I caught wind of the buyout, I started checking in to see if it was going to work for me and I could make it work.
Yeah.
And everybody that I talked to, um, you know, advisors, close friends, family, they all told me that I needed to get out because that would have been the best thing for me. And
Mhm.
for my own mental health, I think it was the best decision that I could have made. And I have absolutely no regrets.
Good.
Well, that's another thing, like you were saying, and I don't even think we were saying it when we were recording, but we were talking about earlier of just this job itself fucking killing you. And there is something I think all of us, anybody that's done this job or done, everybody has at some point you do there's something happens in your life, rather the level of to where it can be something as serious as losing a spouse or losing someone close to you or something happening to where just in what we do, I've always thought, as far as being with, as far as, mental health goes, and when you've got something weighing on you, rather it's grief or it's rage, whatever it is, especially, I mean, you're in that fucking truck, package car, whatever you want to call it. That thing's a fishbowl, man. And when it's just you, it's just like that when you've got something, I had some stuff. I was telling you about that earlier when we got about 3 years ago, and I had, there were days that, the stress level, it just it's I'm not saying every other job, the people that deal with tragedy, they're not dealing with the same thing, but with what we do, because we might be interacting with people, but we're basically alone,
Oh,
and
we're with our
when
thoughts.
we're with our thoughts,
Yeah.
and that that can it's just like that alone, that can the job can it can do it sometimes.
Well, and like you're saying too, you are face to face with your everybody that you're delivering to. You basically, you want to put on I won't say happy face, but
I know what you're saying,
your
though.
regulars know when something's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so, you know, you can't, into driving that truck, you can't not focus on what you're doing.
Mm.
And if your mind wanders, you know, all it takes is a second,
Right.
and your life can change. Someone else's life can change. Maybe two or three people's life can change, and not for the better. That's why you need to be focused. And I wanted to take myself out of that equation because honestly, I wasn't sure that it was a good situation for me to be in.
Totally. And I mean, now, like Luke said, seeing you from afar, seeing your stuff on social media and stuff, I'm so happy for you, brother. And
Thank you.
and just seeing you live your life like that. And like you said also too, also just fulfilling everything like, that you and your wife had planned, and going through still with that. And it's amazing, man. It's
Appreciate that.
totally. But yeah, dude, it's and I mean, through everything else too now, I mean, you're literally are right next to the Rolling Rogans now down there in Florida, and
Yeah.
you've gotten a chance to hang out with them, and they're there now kind of, anchored down in the spot taking care of Joe's mom.
Yeah,
And
they're not maybe 10, 12 minutes from my house. They've got a really good setup where they're at. We uh we talk about getting together. I've been out of town so much with all of my stuff, I feel like I need to get out there and see them. And I really want to see what they've done with the place since I've been
yeah,
out there last. I talking to Jim the other day on the phone, and he was telling me what they had going on, and it sounds really amazing, the work that they've done out there.
yeah.
So I can't wait to get back out there and see it again.
Yeah. And also besides the cruises and all of that stuff that that you've been doing and traveling and all that, we were talking before, and you said you started your own little company. Do
Um,
you want to talk about that?
yeah, I've got some of you know, some of you don't. Uh I'm a certified travel agent. I mainly book cruises. That's my niche. So if you need or want or have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Slide into my DMs, so to speak. Um,
Hilly on the go, right?
yeah, Hilly on the go on all the socials.
Cool.
Um, I'm also starting a transportation business. Not quite what you might think, but I'm doing like air.
UPS 2.0.
Yeah. Look out, Carol, here I come.
No.
No, I'm like airport runs, stuff like that. You know, I've got everything set up. Actually started last week. Um, just call me up. I've got my number on my travel Facebook page,
Mhm.
and or you can DM me, and if you need prices on anything, I can do that. It's not a problem. Cruise ports, airports, you have it, and we can figure it all out.
Is there like a certain range that like you've got set up like in your mind? Like, is there travel distance that
Mm,
you're like, nope, that's too far?
Yeah, I'm in the Ocala area, so I'll go. I hate to say this name, but like I can handle the villages. as wild as that might sound, because you never know what might be going on down there
Yeah.
from time to time. MCO, Tampa, Sanford, Port Canaveral, Tampa Port, Jacksonville, Cruiseport, from like where I'm at. So all of those are within 110 miles.
Mhm.
So that's more than likely what my range is going to stay.
Cool.
That way, it kind of stays affordable and doable for everybody involved.
Yeah. And going back to the buyout too, do you have any regrets?
Oh no, none at all. None.
Even though the next one that just got released is a lot more money.
I'm a firm believer everything happens for a reason.
Mm,
And I believe that with what I was dealing with at the time, that was presented to me and it was my sign that I needed to go.
totally.
And like I said, I was just a little bit short of 35 years, but I was, a little bit short of 55. I'm making all that work until I'm 55 and I'm getting what I get and I'm living. If you don't believe that I'm living, go check out my social media, Hilly
Hell
on the
yeah.
Go, and you can see for yourself what retirement life after UPS and a buyout can do for you.
Well, let me ask you this though before. So, as somebody that is now retired and was a long time worker for this company, what do you think the future holds for UPS and the union and Teamsters and drivers? Do you think what's your thoughts on? Do you think what do you think it's down the road's looking like?
Um, I'll be honest with you, I would be nervous for 2028. And I know that's probably the consensus here in this room.
Yeah.
Um, I I don't know, we'll see. It's like they're handing out $150,000 buyouts and then they're uh psych, they're just taking it back. But in a world where I thought there was no takebacks,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it
no
seems to be
doubt.
happening.
There's UPS.
Yeah. But all I'm gonna say is you guys start saving your money. Start saving your money.
Mm.
Well, I keep thinking that's what I've counted because we'll basically have. I mean, we got the rest of this year, the rest of next year. So yeah, I was thinking that because I don't know, like, and I mean, shit. To I I don't know with, and I know I've said this on a lot of episodes now, and I don't want to necessarily say that I don't I don't believe in Sean O'Brien, but I'm very curious just exactly if nothing changes and he stays, I really with 2028, I don't know how the way that they have the way I mean, I don't know, the way they violated everything aside from the buyout, I just don't know how this but I don't think he is in any type of position. Like I think we're in no position to try to strike because this is just me personally. I don't think I think that I feel like the time if we would have done it would have been the last one. And I feel like now
Yeah.
I feel like the way that things have been going, I don't want to repeat shit that I've repeated on so many times before, but a lot of there's a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths that I've been seeing in the eastern part of the United States that there's a lot of people upset that they rescinded this, and I think there's gonna be I don't know I don't know how I mean, if he's the guy, then that's who we're just gonna have to trust him, but I don't know. I'm nervous. I don't wanna say that I don't believe in the man just yet, but if he stays as president, I'm gonna be really wondering how 2028 is gonna go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like you said, Hillygus, start saving your money. That is
Hey, everybody listening when you hear this,
Yeah.
it might sting, but he's not lying.
he's not lying. And I mean
Hey, I'm just trying to put it real words.
it is. That's what we like to do here.
Don't don't sugarcoat it. And and as bad as this might sound, don't be surprised if the offers come in real low and it's like, you want to strike? Go ahead. What you got?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, and not trying to be any way, being on the kind of the outside now, I look at it a totally different way, and I'm just trying to be, like I said, be real. And I mean, not trying to scare anybody, but I'm just trying to be,
It's
objective.
oh no, it's so true. And I think Luke and I have even said it too on an episode or two where it's just like it's really one of those things where this 2028 contract is going to be do or die. Like that's going to be do or die. And because of the way things are right now. And like I've heard comments too from people that's like, oh, this always happens this time of year, volume's down and yada, yada, yada. Oh, don't worry about it. Yeah, but this is much different now. Sure, volume used to go down January, February after peak. But here we are, April. Carol's still cutting back Amazon. Carol's still, the SurePost stuff, like everything. And then you got, the volume is pulling back right now. And I mean, I'll talk about it too quick too. We got, we've had a few Monday through Friday routes, full-time bid routes, in our building that is not running Mondays right now because the volume's not there. And like, I've even spoken to my dad about this, and my dad's even blown away. He's like, that's never happened in my 30 years I was there. When, you got someone with more seniority that's been there for 18 years that's on a route that's not even running on a Monday now.
Yeah, well, with all due respect, and you'll know what I mean when I say this, this isn't your dad's UPS.
100%. 110%. I
mean, hell, this isn't even
5 years ago.
This isn't even. Yeah, I was gonna say this isn't even
not the same UPS it was when I started.
Yeah, exactly. And I'll definitely give you that. I mean, yeah, totally different. I mean, it's different from 5-10 years ago. Well,
yeah.
Well, 5 years ago, 6 years ago was what, COVID?
Yeah.
COVID was 6 years ago, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it seems like everything this side of that has just been wonky.
Service went to shit after COVID and never went. I mean, that's the thing now. And we were talking about this earlier. And now, because it's going to get worse, because the drivers that were, and I'm not saying all new drivers, I know there's still some good under 5-year drivers out there, but for the most part, they came in at a time, like you said, they didn't have to go to driving school. They didn't have to adhere to any restrictions that we all had to do. And because of that, now there's more drivers retiring. So the people that did it the old way, which we would all probably agree was the right way, are moving out. And that's another thing that fucking scares me. We've talked about service so many fucking times.
It's our last name.
Yeah, exactly, dude.
And it's all that they've got.
Yeah.
And two, you hit it right there with the older drivers, the old guard passing it to the young guard. And the young guard, it's like, I have a phrase, and a lot of people, if they're in my old center and they hear this, they'll know exactly what I mean, because I say this all the time. It's all about want to. Yeah. If you don't want to, you're not going to. And the people that want to will try, but the people that don't want to are going to pass that, hey, I don't have to do this, because what's going to happen to me if I don't?
Right.
And then it gets pushed onto the people who feel like that I do a good job and they can count on me. So that gets shoved over to them. They're forced over 9-5 on a regular basis, while everybody else, the I don't want to's, slide on out the gate after 8 hours. I'll get a lot of heat for that, but you know what? I'm on vacation permanently, so it's all good. Bring it. Blow up my DMs.
Sure.
Yeah, no, I mean, you nailed it right on the head there. It's so true. From the passing of the old guard to the newer generation of drivers coming in, there's a lot of stuff that's lost that the old guard would do that these newer drivers don't. why, or stuff that the newer drivers do that the old drivers would, literally have, like fucking shit their pants about, because
Dude.
it's between everything. I mean, listen, there's some people at my center. I don't give a fuck. They listen. There's some people at my center where it's like, where it's like, like there's some mailbox king and queens, or out there that will leave everything.
They got a lot of. He's got a lot of have-nots up that center.
Yeah,
And that brings back a term that you guys, I haven't heard it today, and I was thinking I might have. Cradle babies.
Oh
yeah,
Bianca Garza, wherever you are, God bless you.
Yeah,
one of the best phrases of all time.
Yeah, Bianca Garza gave us that phrase when we were interviewing her, cradle babies, and it's so true, so true. That is too. Is a lot of these drivers now, they're just following the GPS and following this, and it's like, you really aren't. I really don't think you're learning a route that way.
No.
Because you're too busy looking down. You're not looking at landmarks. You're not looking at numbers on mailboxes. You're not like, you're not getting that visualization really. If you keep looking down, like, oh, it's coming up here on my right a little bit. Okay, you should be right about here. Oh, yep, there it is. Like, it's you can't.
Or
like,
there it was. Let me go around the block.
There it was. Oh, wait, GPS says turn right into this field. Like, it's, I mean, we've had that happen on my building. So it's just like, yeah, dude, it's terrible. It really is. It's really terrible. Everything from the quality of hires and all of that is just, everything's gone down. And I think, like you said earlier, service is all UPS has left, and that service is going down as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's pretty
waning, waning to say the least.
Excuse me. But I mean, we've been going for about a half hour here. Luke, do you have anything else for John?
I mean, just like we had said earlier, I'm glad to have you back on, and more than that, I'm glad to be in your presence today.
Hell yeah.
And I'm glad we were all able to work this out. And you'll hear him. Even though I have to. He's over there. I know Brad will have his own separate episode. But he said, "Not your daddy's UPS." I had to shout him out. I had to. I had to. That's another. It's a line that we'll call that an inside joke. But we, yeah. I just, I'm glad to be here, and I'm just looking forward to enjoying the evening. And no, I'm good, brother.
Yeah. And I think you had a question.
Yeah, we were talking about this earlier, and I have a question for you guys. Since you're still there and I'm not, so it doesn't really pertain to me.
Yep.
Would you rather, let's play the would you rather.
Doorstep dilemmas.
Would you rather be slammed every day like you were during COVID?
Mm-hmm.
12, 14-hour days on a regular basis, never being home.
Nobody ever comes to the door.
Nobody comes to the door, exactly.
They do. They got Lysol.
Or would you rather not have the volume and be kind of concerned about what the following week would be like, or how the next couple of weeks would be, because there's a potential that everything's shrinking up. They're going to lay more people off. And I mean, taking seniority out of it, which I mean, UPS is going to do that anyway. Just kidding. Or maybe I'm not. Which would you rather, what would you rather face in April of 2026? For the month of April, what would you rather look at?
I mean, me, it's like a double-edged sword for me.
Well, yeah, you've got something. Yeah, you've got something cooking. So
yeah, it's like for me, do I enjoy like my days where I get done at 5:30 and I'm driving back to the building? I'm punched out by 6? Absolutely. You know what I mean? Like, of course, like I enjoy that where the volume's low right now for certain things, because that means I'm getting home earlier. That means I got more family time in the evening. Right. I get more time for all of that. And
baseball with the kids.
Yeah, dude, exactly. And So yes, I enjoy that side of it, but then on the other hand as well, it's a thing where I'm obviously concerned about it, and it's it's a solid question.
But like you said, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. So, Luke, what about you, man?
I told you earlier that I think job security was something we heard a lot during COVID, and that would be one thing. The only thing different for me now, everybody here is a parent, and I'm the newest one experience-wise of everybody as a parent, and it would be a lot harder now because it would be like literally weeks would go by to where I probably wouldn't even see, the age that Willow is, and probably just, like you, Dave, with Grant and Xander, that you're not even going to see him. And it's like, you're home every night. It's not like you're not a sleeper team driver or you're not driving a semi across country. You're home every night, but you're not seeing your family
under the same roof.
Yeah, under the same roof. All that being said, though, it would be, if you take seniority out of it, I would, I hate to say it, but I'd have to say, just give me them fucking 10 o'clock nights and hear my old center manager. Shout out to you, Chris DeSario. You're retired somewhere. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself. And speaking of, Chris, I know you may not hear this, but congratulations on becoming a grandfather. But just like he said, guys, I've said this so much recently. Guys, we just file 9-5 grievances and we're going to pay them, and that's about it. And I swear I could just see him. I could still see him standing there. He had like his hands in his pockets, like he just felt so defeated. It was like, and it was. I said it on a couple episodes ago, dude. They handed out grievance checks to every. It was the greatest.
You get a grievance check, and you get a grievance check, and you get a grievance check.
Yeah, so some of you may not make it.
Oh, and we need volunteers to work Saturday.
Yeah. Fuck.
Oh shit.
Fuck. Yeah.
Oh God.
But anyways, John, thank you, buddy.
I appreciate you guys having me. This has been a blast.
This has been amazing being here with you and Moser here, who we got up next. So
he's in the batter's box, or he's on the on deck.
He's on the batter's box, and he's got his shit sorted to the front part of the shelf where he's going to use the 60-degree turns and all his bullshit. I've been hearing that. I heard that batter's box. I sat down on one of them fucking UPS groups. I got grilled.